Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. We're so happy that you're here with us. My name is Gabby Solis, and I'm the Development Director and Marketing Director for Care Partners. Care Partners is a nonprofit organization here in Houston and in Waco who serves family caregivers taking care of loved ones with Alzheimer's, dementia, memory loss, and other problems due to aging, other challenges of aging. And we are doing our Facebook Lives, we're doing our YouTube Lives, we are providing many resources online because we are in our stay at home um, order because of COVID-19. So we want to make sure and still bring you a lot of resources and education and hot topics and entertainment there at your home. So we thank you for joining us. Today, we have partnered with Mental Health America of Greater Houston, and we have Lauren who's going to join us in a bit. And we're going to be talking about self-care as a caregiver, especially during these times of isolation that we're at home. And we cannot, because of the stay-at-home order, we are not allowed to go out. So I want to introduce y'all to Lauren. Hi, Lauren. Good
Good
morning.
morning, everybody.
How are you today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy. And we thank again Mental Health America of Greater Houston for joining us today and bringing us this seminar online. That way we can know about self care, especially for our family caregivers. And we're excited that you're here.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for putting this together.
Yeah, so Laura, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor, like it said, and that way we can talk about, like we mentioned, self-care for family caregivers and what to do during the stressful times that we're going through. So,
Absolutely. So, good morning, everybody. Like she said, my name is Lauren Pursley. I'm with Mental Health America of Greater Houston. For those who don't know about us, Mental Health America is an organization we have been around for over 60 years, and we are all about education and advocacy. We educate people about mental health to help destigmatize mental health, and we advocate on a legislative level to help mental health in society. So, we really do appreciate the partnership with Care Partners today, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about self-care. Now, just to make sure we're all on the same page, I want to talk about some of the important reasons for self-care. Important one, stress. We are all experiencing stress right now, and the definition of stress that I like to use is the one from engineering. The pressure or tension exerted on a material object. I think a lot of us can relate to that idea of stress right now, of things being exerted upon us from the outside forces. Now, trauma is a situation when something occurs that we either experience or witness, and it leaves us feeling vulnerable, helpless, and afraid. That's really important for us to understand. What we're experiencing right now is a shared traumatic experience. It is something that pretty much everybody is going through, whether you have a family member or you yourself are sick, or you're just inundated with news and you can't leave your house, etc. So it's important to understand and be really cognizant of the fact that we are all experiencing a traumatic event together, and we are all experiencing stress as a result of that traumatic event. So, first and foremost, I want everybody to understand that it's okay to feel stressed right now. In fact, it's natural to feel stressed right now. So, it's important for us to think about what are these difficult emotions that we might be feeling. It's natural right now to feel sad. It's natural right now to have fear, to be angry, to be frustrated. It's natural to be worried about the future. Every day the timeline changes, and it's important for us to be able to express those things. It's natural to feel overwhelmed, not just as, an adult going through this, but let's imagine you're a caregiver dealing with family member and dealing with their health and well-being. In the best of times, that is an overwhelming situation. But right now is clearly not the best of times. We're dealing with an untold amount of stress, an untold amount of of need. And it's important for us to be realistic about those feelings. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. But how do we deal with those difficult emotions? Okay, first and foremost, we're going to talk about 3 ways that we deal with difficult emotions. We're going to talk about self-care. We're going to talk about expression, and we're going to talk a little bit about mindfulness, okay? So, first and foremost, what is self-care? I think self-care has gotten a lot of buzz about, oh, what is self-care? Is it treat yourself? Is it all of these different things? And it can be, for the record. All right. Watching Netflix and vegging out is 1000% a form of self-care. But what self-care truly is at its essence is doing whatever makes you the best version of yourself. Okay. That's important to look at. So self-care in and of itself is not always pretty. All right. Sometimes self-care is doing the dishes tonight because you know you're going to have a harder time washing them tomorrow. It's exercising so that you have more energy. It's eating healthfully most of the time. It's hydrating. It's watching those negative coping strategies such as drinking or substance use. It's all of those things together that make us a better version of ourselves. That's really key, I think. And I think it's naturally really broad, okay? What makes me a better version of myself may not be what works for you, okay? We all have a certain combination of exercise, of rest, of, hobbies and things of that nature that make us a good version of ourselves. So I don't want you to try to fit into somebody else's box as to what self-care is. I want you to think really hard about what makes me the best version of myself. That's really key. Another way to think about it is, let's think about those things, those chores, those nasty little things that we've been putting off for a while. Perfect example, I've got some dishes over here. Now, I have been thinking about doing the dishes, and I've been thinking about my husband doing the dishes for potentially a day. But let's think about it. How long does it take to do dishes? Max 30 minutes. So today, as you're watching this, and as you're sitting and thinking about this, I want you to think about one thing that you have been putting off around your house. Could be anything that you've been thinking of for more than a day. And I want you to think about how long that activity takes. If it's less than an hour, I want you to make a commitment to do that thing today, because it's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel less stressed, and it's going to give you a sense of accomplishment in this time. Okay, so that's really important to think about. Not putting off things that we can do today. All right. Another thing that is incredibly important, especially as we are dealing with family in confined areas, whether people living together and spending all of our time together. For example, I was telling Gabby this morning, I have a 7-month-old daughter. I have a wonderful husband, but our general routine is baby goes to daycare, husband goes to work, I go to work. We all go about our merry days, and then we come back together at night. That is not our routine right now. We are spending all day and all evening together. And it's important for us to be able to express our emotions and any stresses we have in a healthy manner, so nothing blows up or becomes resentful, okay? So I want you to think about how we can express our emotions in a healthy way. We all have different ways to do that. Some of us, I personally like journaling and writing. So I've been doing a lot of writing and creative expression. Some people like drawing and other creative pursuits, whether that be sculpture or painting or what have you. It's really important, though, in these stressful times, especially as a caregiver, wherever possible, if you are feeling stress, you need to be able to express those emotions with that person that you're feeling stressed out about, or with those things that you're feeling stressed about. And how we do that? One, we start with I statements. It's really important that we take ownership of our feelings. There's a very big difference between I am feeling stressed and you are stressing me out. Okay. we take ownership of our feelings. All right. So I'm feeling stressed. I feel misunderstood. I think I am not being appreciated. All of those I statements are ownership of my feelings. And then I'm going to talk about observations. I notice that we haven't been keeping up with the housework equally, or we haven't been keeping up the housework just because we're swamped. I notice that a lot of the cooking is falling to me and it normally doesn't. I notice that there's a lot of stress and tension in the house and we've been bickering. All of those things are just observations, okay? They're not said with any judgment. It's all about how can we make a connection? How can we really understand what's going on? So once we've made that connection, when we've talked about those observations, hold space for the other person to talk. Hold space for the other person to share their observations and how they're feeling, and then come together. It's important that we have conversations and not confrontations, okay? And understanding, of course, anybody or caregivers who are dealing with people who might have difficulty communicating. It's still important to understand and come from a place of ownership of our feelings as much as possible. And wherever possible, if you cannot talk with the other person, express those emotions through different creative pursuits, whether that's journaling or what have you, and connect with others. Connect with others on the phone, connect with others through FaceTime, whatever you can do to help deal with these difficult emotions. Now, finally, something that has helped me a lot during these difficult times is the practice of mindfulness. Now, mindfulness has kind of become a buzzword along the same lines of self-care. So I really wanted to just kind of drill down and talk about what it is and what it is not. Mindfulness, first and foremost, is about being present in the here and now with openness, curiosity, and kindness. That's it. That's all it is. Mindfulness is not a religion. It is a secular activity that has been developed in the last 60 years. It is derived from Buddhist meditation, but I really want you to think about it. Most spiritual practices have some form of calming technique. So I really want you to think about that. Mindfulness can help with your spiritual practices, but it is all about that idea of being present in the here and now. Okay. And I want you to think about this. For the most part, the here and now is okay. All right. The here and now, I have a house, I have a roof over my head, I have climate control, I have food in my fridge, I have water to drink. Right now, I am okay. And that is important for us to even take back. And even sometimes when we're scared and we don't have as many resources that we would normally want, let's take it back and think about the things that we do have. So that's what mindfulness is all about being present in the here and now. Something that can help, a very quick technique that can help, and this works with anybody. This works with kids. This works with people with developmental delays and people who might be having difficulty due to dementia and what have you, is a very quick breathing activity that I'm going to walk you through very quickly. So all you have to do is, I'm going to try and do this with the camera. All right, you hold out your hand. All right, and what we're going to do together is we're going to take 10 deep breaths. We're taking our other hand, and anytime you go up the finger, I want you to breathe in. And when you go down, I want you to breathe out. Okay. So we're going to trace our finger one way and then come back. All right. So deep breath in. Very nice. And now we're going to come back and do the other way. Very nice. Thank you guys so much. This allows us time to take a break take 10 deep breaths. Because when we are in trauma mode, when we are in fight or flight mode, our brains are working overtime. Okay. And when you take 10 deep breaths, your brain gets a message that very clearly says, I am safe. Because let's think about it. If you're, say, running from a tiger, you can't stop and be like, can't do it. You don't have time. So your brain knows that if you are taking deep breaths, you are safe. And it's going to give you a spike of dopamine, which is going to help you calm down. So whenever you're feeling stressed, whenever you're feeling angry, whenever you're feeling anxious, especially during these trying times, I really want you to take a moment, take 10 deep breaths. Okay. And if you don't have time for 10, take 3. Okay. 3 deep breaths. All right. So we did just get a question. Thank you so much. We did get, these are great tips. I'm so glad to hear it. Can they be posted in Spanish? Actually, we are going to be posting these, and we're going to be doing a different presentation probably in about a week in Spanish. We're going to do this whole presentation again, fully in Spanish. So we will definitely be sharing those with the population at that time. Thank you so much for asking. It's really important that we spend whatever time we can together right now and really connect. We don't want to remember this time as the time of trauma. We want to remember this as the time we slowed down, we stayed home, we connected. It's really important for our sense of community that we stay home, that we keep our hands clean, that we don't touch our face, which is incredibly difficult, we're all realizing. And we take this time to connect, okay? Even if you can't be in the same room, as you are all guests in my living room right now, we can all still connect. We can all still spend the time together. All right. I know I've kind of gone through a lot in a very short amount of time. I do want to open up the floor for questions. If anybody has any questions, whether on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, we'd be happy to answer any and all of those.
Lauren, thank you so much. I was actually doing those breathing techniques with you, and it helped. I felt more calm. So I'm very thankful for that. I did want to point out, because you did talk about making sure you stay connected. So I wanted to take this opportunity and let everyone know that Care Partners, of course, we serve family caregivers, taking care of those with Alzheimer's, dementia, memory loss, and other challenges due to aging. So we have our Common Ground support group that normally, of course, would meet in person, but because right now we're at the stay-at-home order, we have moved those to teleconference calls. So we have them on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., and then we have them on Thursdays at 2 p.m. So I invite anyone who is a family caregiver, like Lauren mentioned, stay connected. Sometimes we know it's difficult in our family caregiver situation to speak to their loved one, depending on what, in their diagnosis, what journey they are at, what point in their diagnosis they are. So we want to make sure and let you all know that you're not alone, that Care Partners is here. And I put that website on here, and it's also on our main page at carepartnerstexas.org. And this is a Common Ground, again, support group that we're offering via teleconference. You call in, you can talk to other family caregivers that are also going through the same situation that you're going through right now, and that we're all going through. And that's a good way to stay connected as well. And I was going to ask you, Lauren, can you let us know what other resources, if people want to know, because like you mentioned, I know it's a short time that we have here, but go ahead and let us know what other resources is available through Mental Health America of Greater Houston.
Absolutely. So if you go to our website, mhahouston.org, thank you very much. On our website, we have toolkits to be able to talk about mental health with kids, with loved ones. We also right now have a COVID-19 resource page, and that is going to be updated on a nearly daily basis of resources for the greater Houston area for people to find help with during this trying time. Also, I wanted to give a plug tomorrow on Facebook Live. If you go to MHA Houston's um, Facebook page, we are going to be doing a Facebook Live with elected officials to be talking about how we are dealing with the mental health of our kids and our young ones. So that's also really important to be thinking about as well if you want to check that out as well. But please check out our website at mhahouston.org and find as many resources as you can for mental health, for COVID-19 support. And you can also on there find our guide. It's a local resource guide of local nonprofits to help in the greater Houston area. So all of those resources are on our website. They're all free and up to date. So please, please, please take advantage of all of those resources.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Yes, that's great help. And we love it that here in Houston, all of the nonprofits, we're working together to provide as many resources as we can. This is an amazing time to work together, and we're so thankful to MHA of Greater Houston for partnering with us today. And also, that's great as well. If they want to find out more information, then go to your website or your Facebook page. I know that a lot of our family caregivers are taking care of their parents or grandparents, and they're also taking care of kids. Um,
Yeah.
all that information is great because, like I mentioned, our family caregivers that Care Partner serves, they're also young millennials, and they're also people with kids and teenagers. So we want to make sure and provide as many resources for everyone. So at this time, I don't think there's any more questions from our Facebook Live, but like I mentioned, this video stays on our feed, it stays on our page, it will be on our website. So if we do have any questions or any questions, you can put them in the comments and we'll make sure to answer those for you. So Lauren, thank you once again for joining us. And we appreciate everything that Mental Health America of Greater Houston is doing. And again, if you need more information, you can visit the website for mental health at mhahouston.org. And then for us, our website is carepartnerstexas.org. So there you'll find a lot of resources for family caregivers who are taking care of loved ones with diagnosis of Alzheimer's, dementia, memory loss, or any type of challenges due to aging. So we thank you so much, Lauren. We hope you have a great day. And thank you everyone again for tuning in. Have a blessed day. Bye.
Thank you.